Hi guys, this is day 15 of the recovery diary, and today I think I'm on a 4.525, somewhere in that region. So I think we're heading in the right direction, so I'm seeing some movement, which is encouraging to see. So yesterday I spoke a little bit about the different ADHD symptoms which I resonate with, and things which I've experienced not only during childhood but also throughout the rest of my life as well. So yesterday I covered half the list, the first part, and I said I was going to continue to finish the rest of it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just going to give examples of where I've got stuck in these areas or felt a difficulty or challenge. So here we go, part two. So the first one that's on the list for the second section is continually starting new tasks before finishing old ones. So I genuinely or generally wouldn't do that very often, except where I've got lots of different options on the plate. So for instance, regarding business and different projects that I want to get involved in, because I'm a creative, it means that I have a lot of ideas about things, and it's easy for me to come up with ideas. But the problem is that because I've got a lot of options, I find it difficult sometimes to make a decision on what I'm going to do and what order I'm going to do things in. And it can be like that with work life as well, where there's maybe a lot of tasks involved, and I have to make a decision on how I'm going to cut through all that and prioritise and plan. So this has been quite challenging because it has held me up in my progress towards my goals in business and things like that. So I really have to find a way through that, and need to get some progress made with that one. So the second one is inability to focus or prioritise, and this is really to do with fuzziness of thinking. Whenever there is, as I'd mentioned, lots of different options, a lot of people will feel clarity in mind regarding how they're going to deal with that or how they're going to tackle those lots of different tasks. And if there is lots of fogginess or uncertainty, then what can happen is that you are restricted in how you're going to proceed. And just like I mentioned before regarding finishing things, quite often what can happen is if you start off without being really clear on what decision you're making, it means that further down the road, if you see something else which seems like a good idea, you can be easily tempted to move to that. And that's what's happened with me several times. And of course, this doesn't only happen to people with ADHD, this can happen to anyone. And there can be lots of different reasons why we can start off with something and not really feel completely decisive and content with the decision we've made. And of course, later down the road, we can sometimes then begin to doubt the decision we made, and we can be easily put onto a different track. So I'll deal with that another time regarding different ideas we can use to get clarity. With me, it's a different scenario, but in general, there's ways we can get real clarity on what it is that we want to do in life, and what it is that we are feeling it's important for ourselves personally. So the next one along there on the list is forgetfulness, and this is really challenging for me. I would really have to make a lot of notes, use a lot of alarms and different software on my phone to remind me of things. This can be frustrating for other people that are working with me, or frustrating for myself because I'll forget things which are important, only to remember them later down the road where it's maybe past the important point and I've forgotten something important. The next one is restlessness and edginess. So one of the things that's required for good recovery with chronic fatigue is being able to get into what we call a healing state. That's where your body and your mind are in a place of calmness and relaxation. And this is really quite a challenge for me because I do always or quite often feel this edginess, and it's very difficult for me to get into the zone, as I call it, where I really feel that calmness and really feel relaxed physically. So there's things that I need to do sometimes to try to get into that zone. And then of course, because of family life, it can be very difficult to stay there because of distractions. But yeah, that's another one which is it's pretty much there all the time. And the last one on the list is poor memory recall. So this is quite difficult regarding day-to-day living, because there can be lots of memories there, but it can take quite a lot of effort to recall those memories. So I've heard this described even regarding chronic fatigue, that it's like having lots of boxes in a room at the end of a corridor, and the corridor is filled with clutter, and you have to climb over all the clutter to try to get there, and it takes a lot of effort. And that's the way it feels quite often for me, that quite often it will take a lot of effort to recall a word I want to say, or to recall some piece of information which is really vital. And so this is difficult, and that's why I would make lots of notes and lots of triggers, memory triggers, to help me recall information of things that have been done in the recent past. So that's the end of the list, and it's really just documenting the reality of the things that I'm really piecing together now, and really beginning to think, well, a lot of these things are very like ADHD, and although I haven't been diagnosed with anything, it certainly is bringing a lot of clarification for me personally. And this is all part of the journey of being able to get where I'm going. And as we proceed and progress throughout this, I'll talk about the different things I'm going to do to counteract these difficulties and challenges. And hopefully it'll also be helpful to people who might be experiencing ADHD symptoms, or who have been diagnosed with this, or autism. So there we are. That's for it for today. And I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll see you tomorrow for day 16. Bye-bye.